Hello there, Algebra Half. Order of operations can be found on page 104. It's a simple enough lesson about something you may already know. I want to start by talking about something we call PEMDAS. And if you haven't heard of PEMDAS before, today's your lucky day to learn an important math concept going forward. And if you do know PEMDAS, well, you're off with a good start here, a little head start on what we're talking about. PEMDAS is what we call an acronym, which means it's a nonsense word that doesn't really mean anything. It just stands for 6 words, each letter being the first letter of 6 different words. Parentheses, exponent, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Okay? So it looks like in these two problems you could end up with 2 different answers, and let me explain. 4 plus 3 is 7, times 5 is 35. Fair? But what if I started with the 3 times 5 is 15, right? 15. And then add the 4. Now I've got 19. And neither one is more logical than the other. In fact, this one almost makes more sense, but mathematicians agreed a long time ago to always follow a set order so that everything always comes out the same. So we're going to say that this one actually is wrong. This one is the one we will go with simply because we multiplied first, which comes before add. All right, and I'll tell you right now, these ones are kind of interchangeable. You can divide before multiplying, that's fine. And these ones are kind of interchangeable. You can add, or you could subtract first and then add. Those you just want to go left to right on. Left to right. But we won't run into that a lot yet. They're going to keep things simple here. And so if we take a look at example 31.1 at the top of 105, they've got 41 minus 3 times 5 plus 4 times 6. Okay, remember PEMDAS means we don't really worry about these yet, but multiply, divide, add, subtract, or divide, multiply, subtract, add, but dimasa didn't sound as good. So let's take a look. I see a subtract operation, a multiply operation, an add operation, and a multiply operation. Where do I start? Multiply. Which multiply? Left to right. Keep the negative. If there's anything I can teach you today, keep the negative with the 3. So it's almost like adding a negative 3 when you multiply by the 5. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Fair? We still have our 41 plus. We still have our positive 4 times 6. Now we have that multiplication. 4 times 6 is 24. I did that before I did any of this because multiply comes first, and I try to get all the multiply signs gone, and then I start doing this. This is good work. I'm working my way down the page. I'm following PEMDAS, and I'm making all the multiplies or divides disappear before I operate addition or subtraction. Notice what I did without really saying it. What vanished between step 2 and 3? I let this addition sign drop off after I had added it earlier. Not a bad idea. 41 minus 15, can we do that in our heads without a calculator? Or should we just write it out here? Borrow 26. Notice subtract can come before add. Adding and subtract in order from left to right. 26 plus 24, right? Don't jump too many steps at once. This should be at least a 3-step problem. And what is that final answer? It's an even 50. So in your notes, you could show I circled 50, my final answer. They walk you through that in less steps on top of 105. They do another one, example 31.2, where they need to multiply first. And it's okay to show what that multiplication is on top, like, I could go negative 15 and positive 24. But then I got to write this down here. Okay, I can't just do this over and over and keep working my way up, 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 up. I don't want to see that. I want to see your work work its way down. The way that the book shows, we work our way down. If that makes sense. Talk to me if something doesn't make sense. But remember, multiply or divide, if you get it, in order from left to right, then add and subtract from left to right to find a final answer. There's only one possible answer for these. Do practice A and B, since they're that important. Order of operations, you can do this.